So we're going to work into pods. So the way we set up pods specifically. All right, so here's some examples when I say pods. I do this on offense too, so it makes sense to me. But defensively is really where I got the idea from. We've been doing this on defense for years. And so defensively, we're going to take kids that need to work a certain skill, and we're going to put them with that coach who understands the skill better for me, okay, better than I do. So I'm a DB coach, okay, I might be working outside linebackers, and this week our outside linebacker is playing a 9 technique. I'm going to be worthless helping him. And so we came up with the idea of pods, okay, moving this guy with a defensive line coach and letting him practice with a defensive lineman. That's just a common sense kind of thing, I hope. And now we do this with everybody. So for example, outside linebackers, when they need to go work coverage or spatial tackling or tackling with leverage, they're going to be working with our DB coach. Outside linebacker coach comes with them, okay? But they're working mainly with a DB coach because that's an area he's comfortable. That's his world. He's used to out there in space and coverage, okay? So inside linebackers, they'll go with the D lineman. When they work fits, usually the linebacker coach handles them. When they work shedding blocks, well, man, the defensive line coach is going to know that better than anybody. That's what he does all day. And so he's going to work with them. Inside linebackers and outside linebackers, well, they're working fits together. Okay, so they're going to work how they fit together. That's a normal one. Safeties and outside linebackers. Well, when they work coverage, the DB coach is going to help them. When they work run fits, the outside linebacker coach is more comfortable in that world. He's going to help them. And so you're kind of seeing how this works. Safeties with inside linebackers, working on fitting runs inside the box. Who's better to teach them that than the inside linebacker coach? So we're going to put him there and let him coach them up on how he wants them to fit. Corners with outside linebackers, same deal. If we're working screens, okay, that's probably going to be outside linebacker teaching how he wants them both to fit. If we're working coverage stuff or spatial, DB coach is going to be the expert there. Outside linebackers for us, we've got to drop down to a 9 technique. Well, they're going to go with the D-line coach and work on that. So all it is we're putting our players in a position they can be successful because they're working with a coach who understands that. Okay. Let me see. Some usually won't use pods as much, but some usually use them a lot. Okay. Yeah, and good question there, Greg. We do multiple pods at one time. So a good example of that would be we may have our outside linebackers, corners, and safeties working together, and our inside linebackers and D-line working together. They're working run fits. We're working fits in space. So that would be kind of an example of what's going on because we don't want standing around, although there's also times we may be working DBs and outside linebackers, and then the inside backers are still getting individual work, and the D-line is still getting individual work. And so we don't want somebody standing around. And that's the number one goal is reps and reps that matter for us on a Friday night, okay? The pod work will change depending on the opponent and the skill needed. If we're playing a 2 tight end team, our outside linebacker is going to be with the D lineman a lot that week. If we're playing a spread team, our outside backers are going to be with the DB coach a lot that week. And so it just kind of matches that way. Coach Gould?
Yeah, we've even split like the pods into 2 other pods before. Say, for example, the outside linebackers and the corners are working together. We have that pod group going. Well, then it's even split into 2 groups because we have one outside linebacker and corner working on single. When there's a single receiver, we have an outside linebacker and the corners working over here for the guys that are going to be playing trips that week. So it's just not in one pod per se. We can even split the pod in half and get even more precise at what we're doing as well.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. And we're very specific to game plan in season. So we want the kid working the skill that's going to show up on the Friday night. Okay. There's nothing wrong with daily drills. You need to have daily drills. Okay. But as the season goes on, and I'm going to show you how we kind of adapt and adjust a little bit as the season goes on to more game plan specific stuff, because defense is reactionary. Your job is to stop the offense. And so early on, you're teaching a lot of skills. Okay. But as the game goes on, we want to be really good at the skill that's going to help us win that game on Friday night. Like if we have outside linebackers working 9 techniques and we're playing a team that's 10 personnel, we're completely wasting our time. So we're not even going to run that week. We're we're going to run the drills that are going to help us win. And like Coach mentioned, we'll be very specific to stop people.